So, no. Every time. Every time. So to no one's surprise, Angie's dead. But like, I said this at the end of the last part, but this seems like really light on the circumstances. So like, I feel like this investigation is going to be really long. I'm not really sure, but here we go. Right. What can we investigate here? We really can't investigate the dolls, really. That's fucking weird. I guess the first thing to look at's the back door. This door is the lab's back door. Still has a sliding lock and it's still locked. Oh, there's gold leaf on that. Okay.
That's true.
And because no one has used this door since we came in here, I believe Angie locked this door when she came in, and it's been locked ever since. Oh wait, what's this? Look, there's something golden shiny on the tab of the sliding lock. Golden shiny? Could it be? Yes.
That all right?
Marky, may I see it for a minute? I want to try moving the sliding lock.
So what?
You want to unlock it? Go ahead. Do what you want. I carefully touched the knob of the lock, avoiding the gold parts, and softly slid the lock open. Okay, so it's not like jammed or anything.
Okay.
Just as I suspected, this lock will slide without much effort. Whenever you lock it or unlock it, or whether you lock it or unlock it, this could be an important clue. Yeah, no shit. Curious about this rear door too, but there's something else that bothers me. The lock on the front door that we used to enter this room. Shouldn't we investigate the front door too? I'm going to take a closer look. Marky walked over to the front door. I mean, yeah, I guess we can just go straight to that then. It's unlocked, but I think there are still things to investigate here. Oh, maybe I have to talk to, you for real? Oh, I guess that's probably Angie's body. Angie's body. She's lying face down in the middle of the room. Well, not quite face down, but... Are you going to take a closer look?
Okay.
Yes, I was planning to.
Got a minute?
Then let's hurry up and do it. We can't afford to waste any time here. Marky didn't hesitate. She stepped past me and walked over to the body. She has no problem with dead bodies. She is the ultimate assassin. Oh, okay. Now we get to look at that. Pool of blood. Oh, we also get to look at the, wax sculptures as well. Small pool of blood has emanated from Angie's torso. This can't be from her forehead. This blood is from the back of her neck. Sorry, what? Didn't you just contradict yourself? From Angie's torso. This can't be from her forehead. This blood is from the back of her neck. This blood is dry. Must have been spilled a few hours before Angie was killed, maybe more. That fits the 2 AM time of death listed in the Monokuma file. There's blood dripping from Angie's head. According to the Monokuma file, she sustained a stab wound to the back of the neck, as well as a laceration on her forehead. The killing blow was a single stab to the back of the neck, a sneak attack most likely.
Well.
Then what do you make of this wound on her forehead? Maybe the culprit hit her in the head before stabbing her from behind? But her two wounds are substantially different. Did the culprit change weapons mid-attack?
Oh yeah.
I suppose that would be unnecessary. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it's possible there was a struggle, and then, yeah, that is weird. Because even if there was a struggle, like, why... Like, if you had access to the thing you were going to stab her with, why didn't you use that to begin with? Like, why the change?
Remember.
Also, the wound on her forehead looks deep, but it's not bleeding much. What is going on with these two wounds? Forehead injury. Huh? What's wrong, Maki?
Got a minute?
Move. Maki pushed me aside, then lifted Angie's body up by the shoulder. What's this crumpled underneath her body?
What is it?
It's like duct tape with blood on it and what looks like Angie's hair? I don't know, but it must be related to the case. Look, there are hairs stuck to the tape. Long hairs. Angie's, right? Bloody duct tape with Angie's hair on it. What could that mean? I don't think anyone else has silver hair, so it's pretty clear that that's Angie. Angie's, rather. I'm surprised you spotted this, Maki. It was hidden under the body.
So what?
It was partially visible. As a detective, you should have noticed before I did.
Okay.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, Danganronpa only gives me one angle to look at a body, so, if it's not there, I can't really see it. Well, even so, I guess you're still getting used to being around dead bodies, so don't beat yourself up over it. Well then, it's a good thing you're used to corpses, Maki. Wow, that was a great way to say that, Shuichi. Like, here she is being, like, semi-jokey or happy, and now... Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry, joking. I couldn't resist. You don't need to apologize, I was joking too. That didn't sound like a joke, though. Angie's body appears to be exactly as described in the Monokuma file. There were several clues that caught my attention, but I can't draw any conclusions yet. If we think about all the evidence in combination, that might tell us something. Let's continue the investigation for now. Okay. Maki, what's wrong?
So what?
It's not that important, but the only time you're reliable is when you're investigating a crime scene. Thank you? Is that supposed to be a compliment?
Like I'd know.
Who knows? You're certainly more reliable than Kaito, at least. That guy's useless. Anyway, let's continue. I mean, I don't disagree, but... Right. Do we have to investigate each of them? The 4 effigies hung upside down makes the scene particularly eerie. Ropes are dangling from the exposed beams on the ceiling.
If I remember correctly.
Angie made all of these wax figures. Is this rope from the warehouse?
You're right.
I believe so, and that means they won't be much of a clue. Anyone could have gone and gotten these ropes. Maybe the student council should have blocked the warehouse instead of the manhole. The warehouse does contain plenty of things that can be used for murder. Anyway, I know that these effigies are just wax, but it still creeps me out.
That's true.
The effigies look exactly like real people, just not just their faces, but their bodies too. The ultimate artist certainly was talented. By the way, why is this effigy hanging upside down? Is this part of the ritual? Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not sure. If it's not, then why is it like this? Who would go out of their way to hang a wax effigy? Right. If they're going to do this much work, there must be some reason for it. What could it be? Who would do this? The culprit? Angie? Or someone else entirely? Oh god, if it was another situation like in Danganronpa 1 where someone's just like, here's a crime scene, let me make it more complex for shits and giggles. Effigies hung upside down. Okay, so, katana. Hello. A katana stabbed into Kaede's wax effigy.
Damn it.
Who did this, and why?
Got a minute?
Let me see. Maki nudged me aside, then gripped the katana and pulled it out of the effigy. Oh, wait, this is a crime scene. You can't...
What is it?
You wanted to check the katana, right? Well, you can't do it. You can't do that if you don't pull it out.
Because.
Yes, true, but we have to preserve the scene. Maki paid no mind to my protest and stared at the katana for a while.
Is this...
It's a real katana. Excuse me. It's a real katana, but there's gold leaf on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe it's the one that was on display in the Ultimate Anthropologist lab. Is that so?
Okay.
You can probably assume this is the murder weapon, judging from the bloodstains on the tip. The edge is too rusty to cut well, but it would be enough to stab. But why would they go through the effort of using this as the murder weapon? I mean, surface level answer is trying to set up Kyo. But, like, anyone has access to the anthropologist lab, so, like, it's not even assault. Like, it's one of those first thing that comes up in a trial where it's like, much the same that when Himiko was doing the magic trick. It's like, oh, well, it was Himiko because it was just doing the magic trick. This time it's like, oh, well, it was obviously Kyo because it was the sword. Like, nah.
That's true.
Good question. They could have gone to my lab and grabbed a more suitable weapon.
Could it be?
Perhaps it's because Kyo's lab is on the same floor. They just grabbed something close by. They may have been in a hurry. That's a good point, actually.
Well,
Or maybe they needed a long weapon like this. Possibly, yeah. You know, now that I think about it... Actually, no. How would you... The sword was pointing towards Angie's body. Because, like, what I was just thinking was, oh, well, if that was the case and they needed the sword to lock the door, would they not have hung the effigies up themselves? But I don't know if that's true, necessarily. It would certainly be advantageous if they did. But then again, I'm not 100% sure on how you can lock the door with it. Like, it's obvious the sword locked the door, but I'm not really sure how. My lab doesn't contain swords or any other weapons of this length. Ah, really?
that's true.
I'm not sure how Monokuma found out, but he must know I don't use swords for work. When I first started working, I botched a mission using a katana. I haven't used a sword since, which is fine, because they're a hassle to carry anyway. I suppose everyone's lab is suited to them personally, just like Angie's was. But how did they know all this? Well, I mean, they somehow managed to put your memories into, like, flashlights? So, presumably they have some way of viewing them? What? Actually, that means they'd have to digitize memories. I mean, I guess that was kind of obvious given that, but... Anyway, the gold leaf on this katana flakes off easy. It's all over my hand now.
Okay.
It must be pretty old for the gold leaf to flake off that easily.
Got it?
Why didn't you say so earlier? My hands are all sticky now. I'll have to wash them later. Maki scolded me, then stood in front of Kaede's effigy.
Hey,
I'm going to put the katana back where we found it. If it's too hard to watch, look away.
Okay.
Thank you. I averted my gaze and Maki stabbed the katana back into the wax effigy.
by the way,
Even so, why was a weapon stabbed into the wax effigy? A hanging wax effigy, no less. Was it part of the ritual, or was the culprit trying to hide the murder weapon? Perhaps they had no intention of hiding it, they didn't even wipe off the blood. Besides, I'm certain there are better ways to hide the murder weapon than this.
what are you talking about?
Then, what's the reason for this?
That's...
I honestly have no idea. Yeah, like, it can't possibly be hiding the murder weapon, because, like, you just take it out and there's blood on it, like, uh-oh. And, like, it's... Is it... Yeah, like, the big question is this part of the ritual? And it's really hard to say. We should investigate where this weapon came from. We might find a clue there.
Okay.
The Ultimate Anthropologist Lab. Yes, let's do that. I want to make sure the katana indeed came from that room. Gold leaf katana. Yay. Yep, this is the last thing to investigate. Ah, this book. Grimoire Vice. The instructions for the resurrection ritual are written in the Necronomicon. By performing the ritual as written, you can resurrect one deceased victim.
I knew it.
This was the motive, the Necronomicon. Angie tried to perform the ritual written in the book, right?
Okay.
Yes, if we look at this book, we should learn the steps of the ritual she was trying to perform. Let's take a look. Jesus. The Necronomicon Resurrection Ritual. How much you know about resurrection rituals? Something I'm an expert, that's why I wrote this handy manual. It's so easy, anyone can do it, even a monkey, even a bear. Do you want to talk to a dead loved one? This simple ritual will return departed soul to the land of the living. Here's how. Prepare an effigy of the... Oh, okay, that's probably gonna... Yeah. Necronomicon Resurrection Ritual. Prepare an effigy of... Yeah, here we go. Of the dead soul you wish to contact. Everyone may participate. The size and shape of the effigy is irrelevant. Make it out of whatever materials you wish. If it's not obvious who the effigy is supposed to be, label it with the name of the deceased. After preparing the effigy, burn this Necronomicon to ashes. Use caution, be mindful of carbon monoxide poisoning. Sprinkle the ashes on the effigy and repeat the name of the deceased 3 times. Sprinkle the ashes on the effigy. Size. You should feel a light tap on your back. If so, that means the ritual was a success. The ashes are only good for 1 use. The ritual can only be performed once, so use it wisely. Well, yeah, because you end up burning a book. So these are the steps for the resurrection ritual.
Stupid.
Angie believed in this crap? It's pretty obvious that you wouldn't be able to resurrect anyone with this. Under normal circumstances, I'm sure that's true. But in this place, I don't think we can rule anything out. Necronomicon. So... Okay, so the ritual... The resurrection ritual doesn't need the effigies hung up. And in fact, the implication is that you're sprinkling ashes over it, so you probably wouldn't hang it up. You probably just keep it on the ground or standing up or whatever. I think that's enough to say that, like, that being hung up was probably the... not Angie. Because I guess there could be someone else involved in this other than the culprit. Which lends an idea that that katana, and the katana's not part of it either. So presumably someone else got it other than Angie. Which means that both the effigies being hung like they are and the katana are probably part of the murder. But, like, Shuichi already established that, like, it doesn't take much for the lock to slide. So, like, I'm thinking that you twist... Well, I'm thinking, like, maybe you twist the effigy in such a way that, like, it leans up against the sliding lock. And then, you know, you close the door and it starts to spin to right itself and it locks the thing away. But... that seems incredibly imprecise, and I don't think it would even work. Like, because you'd have to open the door out, have the sword, like, up like that. No, I guess that could work. That's incredibly tight, though, and you can easily fuck that up if it just starts moving and misses the lock entirely. I don't know. I guess I'm done investigating the body. Hey, Gonta.
Why?
A murder at nighttime is strange. Impossible, even. Why do you think that? Because student council made rule that we know can be outside during nighttime. Everyone should have been asleep. No way murder could have happened at nighttime.
Ew.
Do you really think everyone would go along with that rule? But a tourist rule. Angie says he punish us if we not follow his rules. But the student council wasn't included in that, correct? They could do whatever they wanted. Angie was also working here at night. Huh? She was?
But...
No way. Student council would never break own rules.
Right.
They should have been asleep in own rooms to set good example to others. Maybe Angie got attacked while she sleep in her room and get brought here?
Gonta, idiot.
If so, Gonta could have saved her, if only Gonta saw. But Gonta was sleeping. Sorry, Angie. Gonta no could save you. Ah, you precious boy. I find it hard to believe that no one went outside in spite of the student council rule. Yeah, like... That's, I mean, several people were out, presumably the night that, Angie died, so... I'm not sure if it's okay to say this or not, but could Tenko be the culprit? Huh? Tenko? Oh, it's not like I have proof of it or anything, but earlier I heard Himiko say that Tenko was trying to betray the student council.
No.
So you suspect Tenko?
Actually.
Because as a member of the student council, she would have been allowed into this lab.
Oh, yeah.
That's right, Angie did allow members of the student council to enter her lab. Yeah, Angie had been shut away here working on the ritual by herself since yesterday. She said she would only unlock the door if she heard a student council member's voice.
That's true.
That would certainly point to Tenko. She did betray the student council after all. It's not that I want to suspect Tenko, but since only student council members would have been let in here, so Angie only let in student council members. That would be Gonta, Kibo, Himiko, Tenko, and Tsumugi. Of that group, Tenko is certainly the most suspicious. Yeah, and this is where, like, the fact that we don't really know a lot about the circumstances that this happened is actually, like, really confusing. Because